Hi, thank you, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a quick magical movie review, and the movie that I'm reviewing is going to be Sugar Hill. Now, this isn't the Sugar Hill that was made in the 90s, this was made in the 70s. So, I'm putting the poster here so you can see it, and it is kind of a hard to find movie. A lot of people whom I've talked to who would have lived in that era and could have possibly seen this movie during their heyday, they didn't even hear about it or even know about it. So it is one of those things that I feel as though that it's a hidden gem, and a great friend of mine has allowed me to get in on these hidden gems because she was the one who showed it to me. And I am sharing it with you all because I do believe that it is a gift that keeps on giving in terms of just the visuals that it allows you to see certain aspects of spirituality in ways where it can make it make sense in reality. If that if you take a look at it, you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about if you are a practitioner, for one. And even if you're not a practitioner, but a person who is just interested, it is a horror movie, so it will kind of get, get you to think about whether or not these types of things are possible, right? If it's plausible. And in actuality, the whole premise of the movie, which there are spoilers, so just so you know, if you are looking to not know what's going to happen before the movie is over, this is not the review for you because I'm going to leak that. So I encourage you to stop the video at this point and take a click on to my website and look at the blog post that I posted about this particular video review, and you can get access to that video through your Amazon Prime membership or even just Amazon account. And it is a great way for you to just kind of sit with yourself and unlock yourself if you're able to gather all of the different keys that are there, right? Now, please, if you are rocking with me and you really are a person that loves my energy, do me a favor. If you are going to decide to watch the movie, do me a favor and support the channel by making sure that you do go to my website and you actually purchase it through the Amazon affiliate link that I set up for you to do, because that does help. Every time that I make a sale or any time that I do any work through my channel, I always put that work and that energy back into the channel, so that allows you guys to have more free tools. So even if you don't work with me directly, you can work with me in those ways, in terms of if I suggest anything that you are willing to get for yourself and you see it fit to and it resonates for you, then please go to the suggested links and make the purchases at that time that you feel it's necessary for you. Now, moving back to this movie here, I want to say that it really is, it captures a lot of the element of what it takes for you to see your manifestations come forward in terms of doing your ritual work, having faith, and really trusting in the power of what entities you're conjuring as well. And in this aspect, you also you get a chance to see that the main character, she had grew up maybe without faith, because the person who helps her to conjure the entities, she actually mentions that this person grew up without faith. But because of her circumstances, she went to the voodoo priestess to get assistance, to get revenge on the people who wronged her, right? And so, without saying too much of the story, I'm trying to give you an overall gist of what parts I want you to really pay attention to. But the fact is that she went back with faith, and the person who helped her conjure the entity, which was Baron Sandy, and he she mentioned that he's a greedy god and that he needs an offering. And then you just actually see them in the woods providing, doing a ritual to the ancestor and to bring forth the god into the realm and to speak to that God. So now you will see that the person shows up in the 3D, and in actuality, when you're doing this type of work, your spiritual eyes are open to various entities, and you can either see them or not. But those who do have a spiritual eyes to see, usually, if you're working with certain deities, you know how to interact with them in ways where this particular video shows you how to um, request that assistance, right? And in this case, it went to the extreme in terms of what they were requesting, but in that, it shows also that the ancestors were revived to do the bidding of the particular person that wanted the request. And the exchange for the request wasn't about selling your soul or anything like that. Each particular deity or entity that you are going to work with when you're doing any type of magical work, if you're conjuring an entity, you have to know that that entity has its own agenda, right? And so you meet that entity at its exchange, and this is how most people harness energy using spiritual beings in the spirit realm. And they perform rituals to execute their will, right? With the energy of those particular deities. And this particular movie shows that that person who went to the deity, provided the offering, made the request, received that particular power to do what she saw fit as seeking out a particular justice to her wrongdoing. Okay? And the movie and storyline is excellent. It's wonderfully written, and the acting is superb, and even the cinematography is great for the time period. I would say that honestly could see it being a very popular movie even to this day. That's because the message in itself is pretty timeless in regards to honoring the ancestors in ways where you remember them to ask for requests, right? And you use them in your magic, right? And it's not so much, the storyline isn't so much focused on her magic as it is more of her revenge. But if you are paying attention to the magic that's being done and you are a practitioner, you'll see various elements of rituals that's being done in the movie that are actual rituals that can be performed and also can be executed in ways where you can see results. Not necessarily, I don't want to say that I encourage the particular rituals that they are showing in the movie, but it's just a clear visual for you to see more or less like someone honoring the ancestors, making a request to a spiritual being with power, God, no, nonetheless, and getting the power, invoking that energy, and being able to do what you need to do spiritually to bring balance to whatever the situation is. Of course, this is a fantasy movie. It is very extreme, but the visual aids are what I need you to really resonate with in order to kind of like understand how ancestor magic works and how you are able to just tap into it. And the idea and the concept of the Loa and different gods and goddesses, or even the Orisha, things like that, and other forms of gods and different pantheons of gods and goddesses that you can conjure, it's all energy, right? And so this is a visual illustration of the energies that you would be harnessing. But if you are a medium, if you are a person who can tap in and you have a visual sight or even a psychic sight or a spiritual clairvoyance, so to speak, you can see in the realms, so to speak, to know that there are actual entities and there are actual energies that have consciousness outside of your own, and that could assist in your request, right? And this is a part of a lot of what it's about when you are doing your ancestor ritual magics and things like that. Whatever you're doing, you're always invoking those that come before you, giving thanks and making and putting them to work, because a lot of them are there waiting to be not necessarily used, but just to be helpful, because they are there to guide you in so many ways to your awakening and to your understanding of how well you can accomplish different things through rituals and through honoring the energy around you, right? And so this movie is just, if you like horror movies, it's a good one for you to watch. If you are into, I want to say, the era of the 70s vibe, and you are um, so-called black, or you identify with that. I don't identify as saying blackness, because I'm starting to dig deeper into my genealogy and understanding that there is a significant classification that comes with saying that you're black, but I know the roots and the heritage as a melanated carbonated being here on this native lands that I was born on, right? So it's a lot deeper than just saying black. However, but if you are a person who is melanated, carbonated, however you want to look at it, this movie can kind of like give you a lot of inspiration as well to see various techniques on how you can connect with your ancestors, or just enlightening you to basically see um, the fact that this is something that is a thing, right? It's just it's I'm not gonna say much more than that. You can see it for yourself and have your opinion on the storyline in itself. But for me, what excited me the most about this movie was to see magic in action and to see various ways that people are conducting using the balancing laws of justice and using magic in ways where it appears to be like the darkest of magic, which people would consider black magic. And of course, that is just our magic. It's just what we would do, in general, typically, to take on these energies and to cast and do whatever it is that we are put forth in our purpose to do. Now, like I said, in the movie, it's fiction, fantasy, but it has a lot of truth to it as well, in terms of just how magic works and how it can be used and how it has been used in ways where people are unaware of, right? And this is just a great movie to just kick back, relax, enjoy, and be a little spooked if you're spooked out about certain elements of magic. But if you're not, and you are in it, and you really like to see people just kind of let loose with it, then this is the movie for you. All right, so that's really all that I have to say about that. Please go and check out that movie from my link. It's in the description below. I do appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, I actually want you to don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Until next time, take care. Namaste.